All right, so you're in a car accident. You want to know what to do. By the end of this video, you're going to know everything you can do. Look, your number one best friend in the world, your cell phone. This is your evidence collecting device. Look, the most important thing to do when you get in a car accident, make sure you're okay. Get to the side of the road. Obviously, if you're on the highway or something, you don't want to be hanging out in the middle. Get the car to the side of the road, get the people to the side of the road so everyone's safe. But look, take your evidence collecting device. Once you gathered yourself, maybe called the police, done what you have to do for emergency purposes, it's time to gather some information because you've got to protect your rights. Even if you do nothing, even if you decide, I'm not going to bring a claim, I'm not going to sue anybody, I don't feel like I want to do that. It's better to at least protect your rights and your interests in the event you change your mind. You get into a car accident, the first thing on your mind is not going to be, oh, I'm going to sue this person. I can't believe this jerk rear-ended me like that. Okay, look, I know it's not a pleasant topic. No one likes to talk about lawsuits, maybe except for me. But the fact of the matter is, it's a part of life. It's the reason everyone in Massachusetts has to have car insurance. It's because they protect you when you get hurt, when you're out of work, when you have a bunch of medical bills all at once. In this day and age, health insurance doesn't cover everything. There's high deductibles. There's a lot of out-of-pocket costs. You want to be able to make sure you're not going broke because somebody else was careless in the way they drove their 2-ton killing machine. Get to the side of the road. Call the police if it's bad enough. Make sure everyone's okay. Make sure the emergency services are on their way so that people can get medical care. But do the following. Exchange information with the other driver. Take that evidence collecting device, take a picture of their license, their registration, their license plate, the vehicle damage. Pictures are your best friend. Take pictures liberally. That's really important. It's also really important that when the ambulance gets to the scene and the paramedics are talking to you, don't be a tough guy. Don't minimize what you're obviously going through. If you are injured, tell them that you're injured. If you have a headache, tell them you have a headache. If your back hurts, tell them your back hurts. You're not doing anything wrong except the medical care. You want there to be a record of what you went through that day, even if you don't decide to go through with any kind of a legal claim or lawsuit. Accept the medical care. Once you accept the medical care at the scene, maybe you get taken to the ER and get discharged, and you go home, I promise you, your injuries are not fully fleshed out yet. A lot of times, especially in car accidents and injuries of the like, you start feeling further injuries the next day and the day after. Follow up with your primary care doctor. But the number one most important call you're going to make is to your lawyer. And I hate to say that, but that's the nature of the beast. The insurance companies are going to try to track you down before you get to an attorney. Some of them go so far as to call you on a recorded line and ask you to send them all sorts of stuff on an app. Don't use the apps. Please don't use the car insurance apps. You end up giving them information they're not entitled to before you have legal advice and before they're entitled to that information. If ever, talk to your attorney. It's free. You call me, I don't charge you anything for initial consultation. What's the worst that you're gonna lose? A few minutes of your time? Learn your rights, learn what to do and what not to do. Make that phone call, okay? Gather the information, get the medical care, make the phone call. You do those 3 things, you're miles ahead of what most people do. I had a client come to me after 6 months trying to handle the claim on their own. Got into a car accident, it was the other guy's fault. They didn't take any pictures at the scene, didn't feel like they were that significantly injured at the scene. 3 days later, she could barely walk because her soft tissue, muscular injuries were so significant. This woman ended up having 8 months of medical care, pain injections. She's got what appears to be sort of long-term injuries. And at the time, she said to herself, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not going to do anything about it. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm not the type of person that sues somebody. Well, the good news for you if you're talking to a lawyer is, if you got me, I sue people every day. I'm very comfortable with it. And I say that tongue in cheek, but it's necessary sometimes. You've got to do what it takes to protect your interests, to protect your bank account, to protect your physical well-being, to make sure your medical bills get paid for and you're not getting medical care because there's no way to pay for it. That's what this process is about, protecting people, compensating people. And I'm happy to do it every single day. So look, very simple. You get into a car accident, get to safety. Call the police. Take pictures, videos, etc. liberally with your cell phone. Collect all the information you can from the scene and accept the medical care. The next thing you do is call me. If you want more of this content, if you want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly of the personal injury industry, if you want to tip the scales of justice in your favor, come back, subscribe, and check out our videos.